A lot of good things from Saturday that we're happy with, and obviously always something to improve. But to go on the road and win in dominating fashion, I think the most glaring thing that we were most pleased with is I thought we dominated the trenches on both sides, offensive line and defensive line, and usually that's a good sign in a game. And love the energy that our kids and staff brought and the way they jumped out. And I thought we played fast and started fast, and that was good to see. So good to be bowl eligible for sure, and we're excited about representing Auburn wherever that is. But we have more work to do, and it starts this week with our return to Jordan-Hare and playing what I think is one of the better Group of 5 teams. And they've gotten better and better and better as the year has progressed. I know Jerry killed it really well. He is one heck of a ball coach, and he'll have his guys ready, and they've continued to improve as the years went on. And they're a very talented team and play extremely hard. So we're going to need Jordan-Hare to be at his best, and we need to keep the momentum going. So it's going to be we'll be faced with some of the normal challenges of wanting to rest on last week and all of those things that come with as temptations, and we'll have to fight against that. And so the leadership of the team I'm going to ask them to help me with that.
Coach, talk about the play of the receivers. Is the mic on? Yeah, talk about the play of the receivers. It looks like VAR, is getting better and better.
Yeah, I think VAR is constantly improved ever since he came back from injury, and he's somebody that we've got to, he's got to figure into the passing game for sure. He and Jay, I've said it since I got here, that I thought those were two of the more talented guys that we've had. And we've improved some other places, but we still got a ways to go. We still are inconsistent in that room some, but we definitely have improved, and VAR is certainly part of that.
When you look back in your coaching career and in games where you go on the road and you have a dominating performance like you did, where do you put that in your rankings, where you go on the road in the conference and you have control for pretty much the entire game?
Yeah, that doesn't happen much in this conference. I honestly don't remember one in this conference. We had a few at Liberty and maybe one at Arkansas State, but don't remember going on the road in this conference and it going quite like it did for us Saturday. I mean, that was, it's the first time that Auburn's held an SEC opponents to 15 or fewer points in 3 straight games since 2016. I mean, most rushing yards by an SEC team in the league game this season. So there was some. You look at those two deals. If you're rushing the ball in league play and you're holding, for 354, whatever we did Saturday, and then our defense is holding them to 15 or fewer points, we've got a good chance to win. But to answer your question, I don't remember one quite like that.
Could you get 3 conference victories in a row? You had a good week in recruiting. Do you starting to feel the momentum build within this building and around this community when it comes to this program?
Yeah, you can't help but when you win some games and you're getting quality recruits. I mean, I think that's cause to say you have momentum, but but you had the job and the chore is to continue that, because we stump our toe this week, and it's easy to say the momentum would be shifted the other way, and everyone that's praising you right now would not be praising you. So it's momentum is an everyday thing. I firmly believe in life you're either winning or learning, and I think that's a choice. You can also choose losing. But one thing's for sure, you better get to choosing, or life has a way of choosing for you, and that's kind of going to be my message to our team this week. But when we're in a 4-game losing streak, that should be, you're obviously not winning, so it should be the learning time. But I don't like to wallow in that very long. I want to get out, and luckily our kids did too. But the only way you truly ever lose, I think, is when you just choose that, because every experience that we have, you can choose to learn from and make yourself better. And that's what I hope we'll do this week is learn, why did we play well? Why are we getting better? We better not forget those things. There's still some learning to do.
Yeah, Hugh, with this offensive renaissance you got going on, what is the most satisfying part of that improvement for you?
That's a big word.
Yeah, exciting, huh?
Well, it's really good just to see our kids play with confidence. I don't think you can be very good at anything if you don't have some confidence in what you're doing. And, you know, they seem to be a confident group right now that's excited about another opportunity. And, you know, I don't mean for this to sound anyway, but, I mean, we could have put up a lot of numbers the other day, I think. And, I mean, they were good, but, I mean, we really started milking that clock about halfway through the third quarter and didn't throw it. And so, you know, I really wish I could have gotten hold of some throws in there, but you just want to handle things the right way too when you do get those opportunities, because I've been on the other side of that too. But I do think our kids are starting to believe in something and believe that we can, you know, score some points, and they're playing this, you know, with some confidence.
I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but Pavia. You faced him last year at Liberty. He's pretty talented.
Very talented quarterback, extremely tough and mobile. He's a handful for sure, and they're using him in a lot of ways and a lot of motions and shifts and formations, and they've got a really good plan, and he can make a lot of things happen with his feet.
Yes, you. How's just the injury update on your team? How's the player?
I think we're okay. Nothing. I mean, there's some. You know, anytime you play a game, there's some things that pop up, but nothing that has ruled anybody out at this point. So, feel pretty fortunate.
You talked about confidence. Peyton is a guy that has made a couple of mistakes that might have derailed guys, but he just kind of keeps coming. How valuable is that as a quarterback, that he has that next play mentality and just kind of continues to let it go?
Quarterbacks, they better have that, and he does have it, and he's able to handle me and lets me rant a little bit, and without it destroying him. And I've got to be careful with that with some probably, but he. All the good ones I've had, you know, I've told him this is what's going to happen at times, and he's mature enough to handle it, and we can move on. You know, I think, you know, it's obviously glaring when he's made a mistake at quarterback, and you know, I think he's one of the reasons though that I think he handles is the few mistakes he's made. He knows better, and I guess that's why it upsets me sometimes. But man, he is a no excuse guy, and I'll play the next play guy, and it shows.
Hugh, it was around this time last year, I think, after Arkansas, you were asked about it at New Mexico State, where we started hearing your name a little bit more with the Auburn job. What do you remember about this time last year when you're obviously in the thick of that, and you're also balancing, you know, a team that you are coaching during the season as well?
Extremely difficult to manage. I can't explain how hard it is. You are trying hard. We genuinely listen. The Liberty people were so incredible to me, and I think we did good things for Liberty too. We beat a bunch of Power Fives there and ranked in the top 25 a couple years, won 3 bowl games, went to 4. I didn't get to coach the last one, and man, you realize that you might be getting this opportunity, and the truth is you really don't know what's going to happen with the job searches. You know, I've been around this long enough to know you really don't know. And so you don't know what to tell the people that are so good to you. And the good thing is had a great relationship with our AD there, and I was very transparent with him along the journey. But it makes it very difficult because you realize you might be getting another opportunity at a place like Auburn based on how those young men and staff and everybody else have performed. And you realize there's going to be a lot of hurt involved, and in particular that last few days when you don't know what to say. You know, you don't know if you're Auburn's choice or if you're, because I truthfully wasn't out hunting a job. I was very content and very happy at Liberty, and you're trying everything in the world to manage it the right way, but what is the right way? And I actually was thinking about that this morning for some of the, you heard for all these families that are going to be displaced. We all sign up for it, so we get it. But I also thought about all the names that would start being floated around and the challenge that it is, because I just experienced it here recently. But I don't know what the right thing is to do, because you're trying to protect your relationship with those young men and the school that's been so good to you. While, I mean, you can't help but want to listen to an opportunity like at Auburn in the SEC. There's not many of those jobs, and I don't know if I've answered your question, but it is just extremely, extremely difficult to manage, and that last 24 hours was rough.
Rivaldo has had touchdown last week against Vandy, 2 against Arkansas. I think all 3 of the touchdowns he's lined up at a different spot, tight end, big slot, out to the outside. Just how much of a weapon has he been for y'all on offense? Because you have a guy that you can move around and make plays for you in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, he's important to us, and I love our tight end room. I said that. I think Tyler Fromm can do a lot of those things too, and it's good to see all of them kind of get some touches the other day. And they're all, we stayed in 12 personnel a big portion of that game. And that allows us to line up Rivaldo a lot of different places so that it might be more difficult for their matchups on him. But that's something we think is important to us, is getting him moved around a decent amount.
You talked a bit about just maintaining momentum, not resting on last week. You're at a point in the season where you have Alabama looming, just have this winning streak going. How do you do that without, looking too far ahead into the future?
It's going to test our maturity. We'll talk about it today in our team meeting, and that'll be my message is we won't talk about the other team that you mentioned. We'll talk about the one we have right on in front of us that can sting us, and I've experienced that before. And we need to continue getting better. We still have a lot of things we can improve on. And so that will be the challenge, and the message is, how will we choose to handle this week? And starts with today, and then Tuesday. There's a reason we've had some success. There's a lot of factors that go into having success, but one of them is the way they've approached work on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, so we better not change that.
We've seen DJ really stick out the past couple of weeks. Do you recall how much, convincing it took for...
I'm sorry, DJ... James. Oh.
To get DJ and Nehemiah back, and what have they meant this season?
I think DJ's improved, and Nehemiah's played 2 really solid games. The other, Ken Lee and Tyler Scott came in, 2 freshmen, and played solid also. But those 2 seniors, to have that experience, and not just experience, but experience and talent is, and I've seen them mature and handle more of the leadership role and more accountable to the little things, and that's rewarding to see.
You've talked a lot of confidence about the offense, but kind of piggybacking on the defense. I mean, they're playing with some of the utmost confidence as they lead the SEC in red zone defense, and they're forcing the most turnovers in the conference as well. Is there a particular player or group on that defensive side of the ball that has the most confidence and maybe the most vocal in practice and during games?
Well, I think of Marcus Harris as the most vocal leader and Keontae Scott. Those two guys, are the most vocal leaders, but the others are playing with a great amount of confidence. I think you're just now seeing what Jalen McLeod, what we saw at the beginning of fall camp. Truthfully, it's taken him this long to get over that high ankle sprain. I think the last few weeks you watch practice and you're like, he's getting close to 100% now. And congratulations to him. I think he's going to be named SEC Defensive Player something. Defensive Player of the Week, and Keontae Scott, special teams. So we've the congratulations to both of those. But I think Marcus and Keontae, are the most vocal leaders. But it takes all. Zion Puckett's an incredible leader. He doesn't talk as much as they do, but he's all about the right things and doing the right things and practicing the right way. So is Elijah. He's a vocal leader. But, man, I've just continued to see them improve over there for sure, and leadership is part of it.
You talked about running game and in the tight end group, but how much has the perimeter blocking on offense improved over the course of the last 3 or 4 games that's helped to kind of spring some of that running game too?
We still have a ways to go. There's some yards left out there because of that, but we have improved it. Other than the Vandy game was not good for perimeter blocking for us. But the others, we've done a decent job, and that was probably our best down the field, people being aggressive and finishing and being a part, playing without the ball. I thought that was our best to date, but we still got to work on it. I'm expecting my second grandbaby. Y'all pray for my daughter. She's in labor right now. So I'm expecting that. Yep. Thank you.